Hi dear students, in this session we are going to discuss about Aschelminthes, the phylum Aschelminthes. Phylum Aschelminthes. Okay. So here Aschelminthes refers to these organisms, the members of this phyla, when we cut transversely, we will get a round shape. So if you cut the complete, so say for example this is a one of the worm. Helminthes refers to worm. So if we cut at one particular transverse region, we will get a circular shape, round shape. So that's why these organisms are considered as round worms. These are considered as round worms. So example for these is Ascaris, rotifers, are, the next is Desmoscolex, are Rhabditis, or Rhabditis. So these are the best examples of Aschelminthes. So I took some of the examples and we will find out a habitat where they found. So Ascaris is having its own habitat, that is living in the host organism. So that's why parasitic in nature. I am writing exactly down to this. So these are parasitic in nature, which they get the nutrition from the host organism and living inside the body of a host organism. So that's why they are called as parasitic in their habitat. So next, rotifers, they are freshwater Aschelminthes. They may be freshwater also. The next is Desmoscolex. This is marine in habitat, which lives in the salt water, sea or in oceans it can be living. And coming to the Rhabditis, this is present in moist soil. So here when come to the examples, we have many, that is Ascaris, rotifers, Desmoscolex and Rhabditis. And coming to the habitat where they exactly found are living, so it may be parasitic freshwater organism living in ponds, lakes or rivers or streams like that, and it may be living in the marine bodies, either it may be seas or ocean, and the example is Desmoscolex. And coming to the Rhabditis, which is living in the moist soil. So next we will move to the general properties. The level of organization here will be organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. As they possess many different organs and the synchronized activity, coordinated activity of different organs to bring one function. So that's why they possess organ system level of organization. Coming to the symmetry of the organism, it is having bilaterally symmetrical along anterior-posterior axis. So if we want to understand this anterior-posterior axis, we will find out one of the best example of Aschelminthes, that is Ascaris lumbricoides. So if you take this as an example, as an Ascaris, it can be cut and we get an equal halves from anterior to posterior direction. So that's why anterior posterior, on anterior posterior axis we will get a equal halves. So that's why it is bilaterally symmetrical along anterior posterior axis. So next is these organisms, body wall which is made up of 3 layers, all the 3 germ layers. So that's why these are triploblastic, but the mesodermal germ layer is just like a patch. Layer is patch like. So that's why these are called as pseudocoelomates. So when you find the structure of a body layers, wall layers, say for example, this is the outermost layer. One, that is ectoderm. This is an ectoderm outside the layer, and coming to the inner, endoderm. So this is called as endoderm, and in between these 2 layers one more layer will be there, that is a middle one. And actually if in case it is made up of all the 3 layers, so illi ella layers ide anta helidivi, but the layer is not complete. So that's why in actual sense that should be like this, ide tarane ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ layer ಇರಬೇಕು, but instead of this complete layer it is just like a patch, so that here and there you can find the mesodermal germ layer. So that's why the presence of mesodermal germ layer forms the triploblastic condition, but it is not completely formed. So that's why they just found like a patches, and finally they are considered as a pseudocoelomates. So here the word pseudo refers to false coelomates. Okay, so regarding false coelomates. So next, coming to the other general property, here the organism show a metameric segmentation of the body, and each one is called as metamers. And when you find that the structure of a body which is cylindrical, so here body shape is cylindrical, so that's why it provides round shape when we cut at transverse section. So that's why it provides a round shape when we cut at transversely. Okay, they possess cylindrical body, and at the anterior end it possesses mouth, and at posterior end it consists of anus. So we will take up the complete structure later. In few minutes we will find out this. So next, coming to the unique properties of an organism, here the body wall which is made up of three layers. It is made up of 3 layers. Those are cuticle, next is epidermis, and the last innermost layer is called as muscular layer. Due to the presence of these 3 these three layers for outermost body wall layer, we will say that syncytial. These are called as syncytial. Okay. So next, coming to the other property. Here they possess tube within a tube type of body plan. Tube within a tube type of body plan, and here the organism is having fixed number of cells, till the completion of the development of alimentary canal. So here I am not completing the sentence, keep it in mind. The word called as utili, it refers to, this is a special property of a Aschelmanthus, where the organism possesses the same number of cells till the completion of its alimentary canal structure formation. So that type of condition is called as utili. The fixed number of cells are present till the completion of alimentary canal formation. Alimentary canal formation. Later they start dividing itself. So that's why this condition is called as utili. Then come to the systems, as they possess organ system level of organization. We'll go through in detail with this. The first one is digestive system. Digestion is complete because it consists of both the anterior and anus at the posterior end. So that's why they possess complete digestion, where in case of few condition, you know that few are parasitic in nature and all others may be living on terrestrial or in aquatic mode. But the thing is, if they consider parasitic mode of life, they need not to have the digestive system because they are getting the nutrition from the other organism. So that's why here the digestive system is completely absent sometimes, when they consist of parasitic mode of life. But the freshwater Aschelmanthus, marine or maybe moist soil present organisms have the digestive system, where due to the presence of mouth and anus they form the complete digestive system, and they have intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. And coming to the respiratory system, here the respiration is by diffused condition, and the process is diffusion through general body surface. Skin acts as a respiratory organ. And next comes to the circulatory system. Here the circulation is of open type. This is not directly considered as the supply of blood into the sinuses, where the nutrients which are going to be transferred or which are going to be supplied to other organs through the help of pseudocoelomic fluid. So here ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ simple it will be. As in case of pseudocoelomates, the Aschelminthes comes under pseudocoelomate type of organisms. Here the mesodermal patches will be there, and in this region you can find the pseudocoelomic fluid. Body fluid is going to be supplied. That body fluid is pseudocoelomic in nature, as it is supplied in the pseudocoelomate region. So that's why here there is no other any type of body fluid requirement. Directly the pseudocoelomic fluid helps in the supply of nutrients from one organ to the other organ. So that's why the circulation is by pseudocoelomic fluid. The supply will take place by this method only. So next, coming to the nervous system. Nervous system, it consists of a nerve ring. It comes as a nerve ring, and it will develop into a nerves. Develops into a nerves around pharynx. So how it exactly happens? See, when you find that this is one Aschelminthes, you will find that mouth. Immediately in the mouth there will be a presence of pharynx, part of buccal cavity or the oral cavity. Nammal hege mouth onwards it is a pharynx and then esophagus, like that say. In the same way, in case of Aschelminthes also, you will find that mouth later on the pharynx. So here it will be found that pharynx is present later to the mouth. Mouth anterior region alirutte, next pharynx irutte, and immediately in the behind region or on the ventral surface of the Aschelminthes, you can find that on one side you can find that the nerve ring origin, and that nerve ring is going to make a presence of nerves, a network of nerves, and they just round the pharynx. So circular naturally round ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So that condition is called as the nerve ring and its nerves which are supplied will be covering or surrounding the pharynx ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So later on they just run down the structure. So ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೀಗೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. If you found that this is mouth and then is a pharynx, here immediately behind the structure there will be a nerve ring. So ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ರಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊ, and that ring it emerges its nerves, ಈ ಥರ ಎಮರ್ಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and those nerves are coiled together at the pharynx region like this. ಒಂದು ನೀವೊಂದು ಬಾಲ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಥರ pharynxಗೆ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಶೇಪಲ್ಲಿ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, and those nerves then later runs as a structures which supplies or gets the transmission of pulses, information transmission help ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So that is about the nervous system. And then come to the reproductive system. Reproductive system and reproduction. Here there will be a presence of sexual dimorphism. So I will write two different organisms of roundworm. Roundworm ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ನ ಎರಡು ಬರೀತೀನಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಮೇಲ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಡೈಮಾರ್ಫಿಸಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ they exhibit sexual dimorphism. By this they are unisexual. Separate male and female will be there. Separate male and female ascaris will be there. How you will identify this will be the male and female? So when you find the ascaris, any ascaris which is living, you can find that there will be a continuous structure and a tile is going to get prehensile. So in this way the structure is going to be coiled, and this is considered as the anterior axis considered as a posterior ring. This type of structure will be seen in male Ascaris, and you can find that this has a mouth, anterior opening called as mouth, and posteriorly you can find that small opening at the posterior end, and that is called as cloaca. Cloaca. What do you mean by cloaca? It is a common opening for urinogenital discharge. Andre genital andre reproductive discharges, sperms ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಯೂರಿನೋ ಅಂತ ಯೂರಿನರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೆರಡು ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಮನ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ cloaca ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Cloaca refers to a common opening for urinogenital discharge. It is called as cloaca. This will be present at the posterior end, and next to this will be a penial seat. So illonde emergence irutte ee tara. So I will show it in a pink color surface, and this is called as penial seta. Penial seta. And after that there will be a later to the mouth. Later to the mouth there will be a one opening called as excretory pore. Excretory pore. Excretory. So then there will be a dorsal line along this. Okay, so this is considered as a male Ascaris. Then if you want to find the female, it is just like the same thing. So whatever we have learned here, I will write the female one, little bit lengthier one it will be. So when compared to male and female, female is larger and male is smaller one, and male is prehensile, female is not prehensile, and one end is called as anterior and posterior. At the anterior end there will be a presence of mouth, and at posterior end this is having a anus. Then above the anus a small porous opening will be there, and that is called as genital pore. Genital pore. And coming to this, you can find the below the mouth the same thing, excretory pore will be there. Excretory pore will be there. So the same thing as compared to the male. The only difference to find out are to identify male and female. Female and male. In case of males they have the prehensile tail, but here it is normal. And compared to this one, cloaca will be there, but here cloaca will be absent. And you cannot find the genital pore here, but the genital pore will be there. And compared to the mouth, the same position, excretory pore will be same thing. The penial seta, cloaca will be there in case of this, and cloaca will be meant for the urinogenital discharge. So there is no need of anus again to discharge anything waste. So but in case of due to the absence of cloaca in females, they required with the one of the porous opening to discharge the waste material. So that's why anus will be there. So this forms the structure of Ascalmanthus, Ascaris lumbricoides. So this is going to be present in the intestine of humans, and human will be the host for Ascaris. So illen ನಾವು Ascaris ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನೇಮು Ascaris lumbricoides. Lumbricoides or lumbricoides. So this Ascaris lumbricoides is a parasitic organism, and the host for this will be the humans. Inside the intestine of humans there will be a location for parasitic worm called as Ascaris, and they live their complete life in the intestine of humans only. Later on they just utilizes the nutrition of humans. So in this way it completes its life cycle. When you come to the second PUC, we are going to learn this Ascaris in detail as a pathogenic organism. So next year, detail. So till here we learnt about Aschelmanthus, and when compared to other one, previously you learned Annelida. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ನೀವು ಆಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಮೆಂಥಿಸ್ನ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಇದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆಸ್ಕೆಲ್ಮೆಂಥಿಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅನ್ನೆಲಿಡನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಫ್ ಲುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದ general properties first and later on unique nature. First will be general properties and later will be the unique properties. In case of unique properties, pseudo-Coulombic condition, one thing, and they possess utility condition, and they consist of syncytial nature, and later on the reproduction with the sexual dimorphism. Fertilization is internal and development is direct and indirect. Exhibit the intermediate stages of larval development also, so that's why they have a both direct and indirect development. I hope you all understood about the Aschelmanthus. So regarding general properties and also the unique properties. Thank you, dear students.